And you came in the game, obviously, knowing you had to guard Towns and then obviously, needing your offense as well. So I didn't feel it come out of tonight. Did you handle both?
Pretty good. It's, a challenge that I really, enjoy taking on. It's different. They played a little bit different. Personnel's a little bit different. So to be able to, go into that game and execute what we worked on, execute what we talked about, feels pretty good.
Obviously, getting 7-3. I know sometimes you say it's a matter of them finding you, but also you got to be ready to shoot. So what was working for you felt like early that led to, you had 17 in the first half?
Yeah, just settling in, man. Good shoot around. Shots felt good all pregame. Missed the first two. But, just got guys that find me. And I just kind of stuck with it and it started to go down. So, just trying to find them in flow, trying to keep my rhythm throughout the game and staying aggressive. And then helps when you got some pretty good teammates around you.
You had the 3 steals, Mikal was getting in passing lanes. How much more enjoyable is that for you guys when you're able to turn defense and offense like that?
Very enjoyable. It's part of our game plan was to do a couple things, and we were able to, get some steals off of that. But just trying to make an impact on the defensive end is big, and being in the right spots and taking possessions away from them is big. And I try to do that every game.
How much of a momentum boost is that when, like your strip on Anthony Edwards and then Chris bats that ball and you get that 3 in transition? And
that was all one sequence?
I think so, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was. Wow. 20 seconds.
That was pretty cool then.
Yeah. It's all good if you don't have one.
Oh, Kayla will show me then. Everybody in that situation, they're looking for body contact, but when you put a hand down low, sometimes you can catch them off guard. Got a couple of deflections that way doing that. But, we got guys that make plays just out there having fun hooping, and that's the result.
Did you feel like you were back in Carolina a little bit with the way you were moving off the ball tonight?
Yeah, a little bit.
How'd you like
it? Felt good. For sure.
How do you guys like to make teams earn it when they want to do things like that with a matchup, like play 2 bigs? Like if you play 2 bigs against us, Cam's gonna.
Well, you want to make it hard on them. They're playing 2 bigs, so they can have an advantage inside, advantage on the glass, post up, stuff like that. We want to make it hard on them to not get to what they wanted. If they think Cat is a little bigger than me and they try to post him up, we try to not let that be easy. And I think we did a good job of that tonight. And then offensively, just moving them, keeping them in actions, keeping the bigs occupied. And like I said, guys, it helps when you got guys like Chris Paul and Devin Booker. Somebody like Mikal goes 7 for 10, and it kind of almost flies under the radar and picks up points quickly. But a lot of guys that can contribute all the way around and guys that can really hold their own defensively.
How much dose is there, Cam, to be able to be that physical and aggressive on both ends of the floor in the same night for you?
Just part of the process, man. Part of the process.
What about the process of, Monty said he thinks you're kind of gradually getting comfortable with the role again of starting. Does that feel accurate to you? For sure.
Just where the minutes come, how our game plan, how our structure goes, getting more used to that on a night in, night out basis, and also finishing the game. And that's something that I love doing, being in there and being part of that critical thinking on top of high level basketball portion of the game is a lot of fun.
Can't know what you were saying about the quick doubles on flashing the doubles when you're dribbling and the other side of the ball. How much does continuity help when you guys run like a specific game plan for that night?
Huge, man. Just one small play. I was bottom man. Mikal was kind of on the elbow, and his man cut, and all I had to do was stay out. And he didn't even have to turn and look where the guy I was previously guarding was. He just knew the spot he needed to be in and was able to come up with a deflection and maybe even a steal off of it. But just stuff like that, when you know that guys are so in tune to what you're saying, and you're able to communicate things out on the fly, to be productive. It's something that I don't take for granted at all.
Yeah, how much does Chris being more off the ball in his first few games this season contributed to you, being more, being able to find your rhythm these past 2-3 games like tonight? He's assisted 16 points.
I think it's a healthy balance. I think it's a healthy balance of everybody kind of taking on more, and then at the same time him continuing to be him. He's a Hall of Fame point guard, so you don't want to take him out of the game. But he's doing a tremendous job of still managing the game from every spot that he's in. He communicates, gets everybody in the right spot. And if even if he's not actively getting assists and points, which he still is getting a lot of assists and points, he still has a big part of what we do, just, tinkering with everything.
Monty said at some point in the first quarter, talking to you, I don't know if it was him or someone else, but they were like, dude, go.
Yeah. After I missed those first 3 shots, they're like, what do you, like, I came off a handoff and didn't shoot it. They're like, what are you doing? Like, they looked at me like I was stupid. I was like, all right, guys, like, I get the memo. Like, but just, I tell you guys all the time, it's really helpful as a shooter when you have coaches and people that encourage you to take the next shot, even if you're 0 for 10. You know what I mean? I've had the opposite in my career where coaches have, stop shooting. What are you doing? You got that in the back of your head. But when you got everybody's confidence behind you, every shooter knows it helps a lot. So, just continuing to do what I do, and, we work on it. Chris Paul just said in the locker room, I heard him, he said, no matter how many shots you miss, we work on them enough to continue to shoot the next ones. It's not like it's our first time shooting a basketball in any situation. So just kind of going with that mindset and just playing the game and forgetting about the past.
You've had coaches tell you to stop shooting?
Oh, for sure. Go back to high school and stuff. I've had coaches stop shooting, stop doing this, and I'll tell you right now, I kept shooting, but eventually kind of said, all right, but and it's something that you earn. So in college, especially, we had with Coach Roy Williams, we had a lot of rules about like almost situations where you don't shoot the ball in situation, but you make enough shots. He's like, go ahead, shoot it every time you're in that. First pass on the court, first pass over inbounds, go ahead, launch it up. So that kind of comes with playing and proving that you can make shots, but it's not something I take for granted at all.
But there's some chatter between you and Cat at the beginning of the game, because last year you got ignited when Randall got you ticked off and you ended up just going off and you won a game for us. This year you matched up with a guy like Cat. Did anything kind of get you kind of ignited to toss tonight's?
No. It was like, do you think I fouled you on that play? Or like, you definitely hit my arm. Like, it wasn't like, going at each other, barking back and forth. It was just like a literal simple conversation. Like, what are y'all running? Not that he's going to tell me, but I ask players all the time, what you guys running? Like, who are you looking for? And sometimes I get a response.
Someone ever told you?
Yeah, I'd be like, I ain't doing nothing. And they don't do nothing. So I ask, like, it's just like, I don't know, there's just a lot of conversations on the court that happen all the time. Or maybe they're trying to trick you so that, like, I would be the type to be like, I'm not doing nothing, and they're not doing nothing. So they trust me a little bit. And next time I say, I'm not doing nothing, and I'm doing something, and they're relaxed. So I almost have to take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, there's a lot of small conversations on the court. Not all of them are like chippy, like I hate you, I want to rip your head off. Some of them are just simple.
Slightly annoying.
Yeah, a little bit.
I thought out as this strategy, this verbal strategy. Is this something you thought of to do, or it just naturally comes
We play a lot of basketball games, man. If you're just out there, like, we talk offensively, defensively, and talk to each other, but you spend a lot of time on the court. So sometimes you just end up talking to people. I've probably been doing it since middle school, high school. I don't remember. Yeah.
Who's the best trash talker on the team?
Best trash. Chris got some slick stuff to say a lot. Sometimes, if it's directed at a ref, it will get him a tech, but he got slick stuff to say sometimes. Book can chatter a little bit with the best of them. Mikhail, when he gets going, he don't necessarily come up with anything clever, but he just kind of sounds crazy.
He started talking to the other benches last year.
Yeah, exactly. And he throws a three when he makes a three. He could probably get under people's skin that way. And it doesn't even have to always be verbally, just actions, be making the other team annoyed or whatever.
It's a good starting 5 in that department.
Yeah. And DA, don't get me started on DA. He's talking too.
Thank you.